Welcome back to It's Life Loudly.
Where life is messy, imperfect, and worth sharing.
We're Dalton and Kristen Steichen, and we are excited to share stories and our experiences.
Ones that might inspire, motivate, and hopefully make you laugh.
We are not experts on this thing called life.
We're just here chatting about it.
It's Life
Loudly.
Welcome back to It's Life Loudly
Hello.
podcast.
Welcome.
We are back at the comfort of our basement couch. We actually changed locations. We used to podcast in our room. Now we've been podcasting in the basement.
And I'm going to brag for a second. My mounts came this week.
We all know what Dalton's joy is for the week, so let's just get on with it.
My beautiful speckle belly geese have arrived that I was able to harvest last year out in the cornfield.
Is that really the word?
That is technically the term, because what are you going to say? That I killed? Harvest is better. But yes, my speckle belly geese have come. They look great. And yeah, it's harvest. That's
to me,
the correct term.
Harvest is like you skin it, take the meat, eat it, roast it, freeze it. Did you take the meat out of those?
Well, no, you can cut them open.
Well, exactly. So to me, it's just not a harvest. It's more of a keep.
So yeah, my high is my speckle belly geese came. My bow deer from last year came. Shout out to Cole for going.
Oh, that's new?
Yeah, that's my bow deer from last year.
Huh. Why did you mount that?
Because I thought it'd be cool with the split brow tine and the acorn on the G2.
Huh.
Wow, thanks.
Well, I'm just...
Wow.
Out of everything...
Wow.
Out of everything in this room, you can see one that's behind us. Out of everything in this room, that is the least impressive of the things.
Yeah, but it's got the most character.
For sure. No, that has the most character.
No, that one's just goofy.
Yeah. Yeah, do you want to talk about your low for the week?
It was very rainy and cold. Cold I can handle. Rainy.
Not today.
Kind of tired of that. No, today was a nice day. It was good. I'm ready to start harvest back up. How about you, K-Swiss?
My joy is that it is a 4-day weekend that we got to have. And so...
Well, you have 2 days left.
Yeah.
I keep thinking today is Saturday.
I don't know if it's a joy or a hard, but I filled the other 2 days with, I just thought maybe a 4-day weekend was just going to be way too much to have nothing to do. So I filled the next 2 days with photo sessions. So I've been on the computer a lot today and yesterday finishing up other photo sessions so I can be all caught up.
Nice.
But yeah, that was kind of sat through a rainy football game.
How was that?
Rainy.
Cold?
It wasn't actually cold. It was just wet. And you're sitting in the bleachers.
And Cole came over and we made smoked duck poppers.
Another one of your joys?
Oh, they were good.
Okay, so you got to
Don't tip the phone over with your phone on
is that what made
That's because I tipped it over. Yes.
Whoopsie.
Yes. That was also a high. I learned a new duck recipe and it is amazing and it only takes like 30 minutes to make it. It's really good.
I feel like I had something else to say and now it's just whew.
You were talking about the football game. You had quite the pumpkin harvest.
Oh my gosh, we had a pumpkin harvest. I don't know if I even counted. How many pumpkins do you think that was? 25?
Close.
Yeah, that was good. Garden is dwindling down. Garden's done. I need to be just done with it. Yeah, I think I had something else to say, but I will shout it out whenever it comes back to my brain.
I'm sure you will. You got a low?
Oh, yeah. Well, that was my high, and my low is that it's a 4-day weekend, and I stuffed 2 days of it filled with photo sessions, and I don't really know if that's a high or a low. Just because it's going to be busy. Sun keeps waking up at night.
Yeah, that was annoying last night. I don't even think he knew he was awake.
No, 3 times this week.
Crying. He didn't really know what was going on.
It was weird. Well,
very carefully.
Yeah. I know what I was going to say.
Spit it out.
I'm actually pleasantly surprised that I'm actually okay with it getting darker out.
Early?
Like it's 4-star evenings to be very chill. And it's kind of forced kids. It's like forced kids into like just kind of
It
automatically
makes them
like
quiet down sooner
yes.
and like feel like it's ready for bed
Yes.
before it's bedtime.
Yes.
So it's easier for you to put them to sleep.
Yes. Like
I
all
got
that.
you. I got you.
And then when the kids are like in bed or wound down for the night, like I look at the clock and I'm like, I still have 3 hours to do whatever the heck I want to do.
And you feel like it's late because it's dark early, and it's
Like
not. So when you look
one
at the
time,
clock, you're like, wow,
like one
got all
time
this
this
time in the
week,
world.
I crawled into bed at like 8:30 thinking it was bedtime, and I looked at the clock and it was 8:30, and I was like, I have time to read and watch a TV show, which is crazy because that never happens. Normally it's like get everybody to bed at 10 and like crash and fall asleep. This year I'm like, and I think it's because we have an apartment where I'm like, you know what? I'm actually okay because on the later nights or whatever, when, because the only reason I don't like it is because of the driving. Now I don't have to drive if I don't like want to drive or feel like driving. I don't know.
You don't have to.
Yeah. So that's why I think I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the fall season coming. Today we are going to do a little more diving into our faith. We had somebody ask us, I think it was a couple weeks ago, we shared an episode. Was it called Faith in Families?
Yeah. Yep.
It was like 2 episodes ago. You can go back and look at the other episodes, but it was how we incorporate our faith, how we make our faith a priority in our families on a like daily basis. Like what are the things we do? What are the things we prioritize? All the things like that. And then a question from the crowd that stemmed from that was like, hey, tell us about your personal faith journeys that like led you to that. So basically like tell us your testimony. So I'm going to put Dalton in the hot seat and he's going to share his testimony first. So when we say the word testimony, for those that don't know, it's just kind of like your faith journey that led you to where you are, correct?
I think so.
Is that what you
Testimony?
Yeah.
When I think of testimony, it's where I was and what happened when I asked Jesus to be Savior, Lord, Savior of my life.
Isn't that what I just said?
Basically, I was paying attention to Odie.
Your faith journey that got you to where you are.
Correct.
Correct.
You got it.
Okay,
Yes.
so let's start from when you were growing up. Dalton's a young little lad. Tell us about your church faith experience. Did you have some? Did you not have any?
No, we went to church quite a bit. I remember going to the Methodist church in Goodrich. I remember switching to the Baptist church in Goodrich at one point. And then I remember, this is like years apart, just kind of giving you a more of a quick breakdown. Ended up back at the Methodist church in Goodrich. And then I remember moving to Harvey. And I remember going to the Assembly of God church for a while and going to church with you when I met you and started dating you. But before that,
did your parents have to drag you to church?
Oh yeah, I'd never really wanted to go to church, I guess, as a younger boy or young teenager or anything like that. I went because my mom pretty much made me. But so I got involved with youth group, I think even at a younger age, and then going to Bible camps. I went to Asbury Camp a couple of years.
Where's that?
It's in Washburn.
They still do that too.
They do. I don't remember. I think it was the first year I was there. Where are you?
And isn't that the camp in North Dakota that's like strictly, our phone might fall over right now.
If it does, it's the kitty.
Yeah. Isn't that the
Don't. Go.
Isn't that the camp in North Dakota that is like fully volunteer base?
I believe so. Yes.
That's awesome.
So I believe it was the first year I was there. Probably was 13, around there. And it could have been the second, but I'm pretty sure it was the first year I was there. And I remember struggling with stuff, with like fitting in stuff, not just with friends, but with other things, and being, I don't want to say depressed because I probably didn't know what depressed was at that age, but something like that, like down in the dumps and not having any confidence and stuff like that. And I got to be friends.
You not having confidence? I can't even imagine.
Well,
This is 13, did you say?
Confidence in certain things. I don't know. Like people confidence.
So did you like feel like this like the school year prior?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have
Sorry.
no idea.
I'm just trying to weed out the details. Like give us
I'm
more
just trying
about.
to I'm just trying to go back to where I was at this camp. And I
Okay.
remember becoming close with one of the counselors.
And you don't remember what led you to feeling like that though?
No, not really.
Okay.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah. I'm just trying
I
to
remember getting
pick out the
close with one of
details.
the counselors and just talking to him a lot about stuff and getting very close with him and opening up to him about everything. And it was probably like this the last night there. They did like the powerful worship, powerful message, which they did, I mean, every day, but for some reason that day it was hitting you. And then they invited, they like called you up to the altar to get prayed over or to break off with the counselor and talk. And I remember breaking off with his
You
counselor.
had to, or that was your
No, you
choice?
had your choice. Like if you felt led to come up, go up. And I remember going up. I remember asking for that counselor, going to him, and we went off by ourselves. And I remember praying with
Would this
him.
counselor remember this moment?
Oh, 100%. Him and I still talk.
Oh. Do I know what it is?
Andrew.
Oh. Sweet. Okay.
So him and I talked and we prayed, and I remember accepting Jesus right there with him. And and I mean everything and tears, and I was a mess, and just we it was a big special, I mean, feeling, and I don't know, it was great. So then I go home and I'm talking to I think I was talking to my grandma Gloria because oh yeah, she probably still she still lived up here. And I remember talking to her and she was asking me about camp, and she was asking me about friends I made, and I told her about this camp counselor and his name, and she goes, "Really? Well, you are technically, I mean, related to him, like in terms, like Kristen's like, no, you're not." But yeah, I mean, we would be like third cousins or fourth cousins. I don't know what it would be, but found that out. So ended up getting I got his number from camp. So I texted him right away. Hey, turns out we're this, that. And he's like, I just found that out too. I mean, he's older than me, obviously, but because he was a counselor. Um, but we've been in contact ever since. And
Man.
after that, I wouldn't say going to church was ever easier for me, but I knew that I had a direction, and I never really got off that path. I knew I had morals. I knew I was clear with sin and this and what morals I wanted to follow by. And I really wouldn't say I just struggled with everywhere that I went to church before that, feeling like church was a home, or church home or church family. I'm not saying it was anything the church did or didn't do. It's just I just didn't have that full on connection or confidence. Or I'm not saying I didn't meet friends in these other places or meet very good people. It's nothing like that. It's just I could tell that it wasn't what I was looking for until you and I church shopped and found our church we're at today, which I feel like ever since that I've grown a ton.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want me to talk about that yet or not.
Well, how about I'll catch myself up to where you are, and then we can kind of go back and forth and talk about, because then a lot of that has to do with us being together. So when growing up, when I would hear like people talking about sharing their testimony, share your testimony, share your testimony, I was always very discouraged because like I was always very discouraged because like I would go to camps or I would go to these places and I would listen to like these people's like full revolution stories, right? Where like this person was doing this stuff and they were with this people and like did all this stuff and they were in prison and they were doing this and doing that and then like met Jesus and their life was completely 180 degrees spun the other direction and then they like went to ministry, like like those. And I just always was like, I don't have a story like that. And it wasn't until I don't really remember what kind of sermon I heard, but I didn't realize how big of a gift that was for me to not have a story like that.
Mhm.
Like as a Christian, you want to just share like these big, profound stories and moments in your lives. And having a slow and steady story like mine, I didn't realize how big of a blessing that was on how I'm like, oh, I don't have anything big or huge, but I was like, literally got to grow up in the perfect world. Like I had the perfect childhood. I had all of these things. I had all of these people. I had parents who supported me. I had all of this, and like I didn't realize like how great of a gift that is to like kind of always have your faith. So like I don't remember a time where I was ever like, "Hmm, I'm not saved and now I am saved." I don't remember that ever. I was the little kid in Sunday school who was all about it since I was probably like 3 years old. I was giving sermons at my church by the age of 13. I was not leading, but I was like one of the main people at like all of the youth groups. I went to camp as many times as I could in the summer. I like did all this. I was so into it. I remember, so like I can't really share like when I just remember always craving to do more, and I think a lot of it maybe stems a little unhealthily from, we were just talking about this today, from my, I don't know if it's from my OCD or from my perfectionism, what it is. Maybe it's all wrapped into one. That's just like my, who I am as a person, a very like perfectionist or whatever, and I always wanted to make sure I was pleasing people. I always wanted to make sure that people were proud of me. I always wanted to make sure that I was doing the best. I was always winning. I was always at at the top as good as I could, and I never ever wanted anybody to be disappointed in me. And so that's probably more where my story stems from, is like realizing and recognizing like it's okay to not always be way up there, even though I probably still struggle with it to at this time. But I remember I must have been like 12, 13. I don't know if it was when I did confirmation. We went to a Lutheran church growing up, and I was gifted from my mom like a Bible, but it was like a Bible for kids that's got like half of it is pictures and then like a couple sentences on the bottom. And she gave that to me and was like, maybe this will encourage you to read the entire Bible, because I hadn't read the entire Bible at that point yet. And so that was the first time I had read the entire Bible cover to cover. It was in a children's Bible, and I was super proud of myself. Like, I mean, yeah, it was a children's Bible, but it was just like I'm calling it. I read the Bible. Like, cool. And then it was after that that I was like, you know what? I kind of want a little more. And so it's really cool because I used to get this magazine in the mail from my aunt, Brio magazine, and in it had all of these tips and tricks and things to do. But like one section was always like your Bible readings for the next 2 months or whatever, and they would like tell you the days and whatever. And so then I followed that structure for a while. So then I think in high school, I think I read the Bible two more times, um, fully. And then it was kind of funny that that magazine like went away for a while, and now it's back, and our daughters now read it, which is just kind of fun. Um, but I guess my first real challenge probably wasn't until like early high school, when the Lutheran church that I was a part of split into two different churches, and people had to make the decision of, are we starting new? Are we staying put, or are we starting new? And my parents decided to stay put, and I decided to leave. I don't really remember any conversations about that decision. I don't even really remember like what was the basis of my decision. Was it because a lot of my friends were going? I don't know. Was it my own decision? I don't know. But I just remember it not really being a problem. I remember my parents just like being like, okay, like you're going, and I just, it's surprising now as an adult to think like as a 14, 15, however old I was, just going to church on my own on Sundays. And I must have still have been a part of both to some capacity because, or maybe it was later in high school than I think, because Doll and I attended the youth group at both of those churches. And so I don't really remember, did we just go to both because we wanted to be a part of both, or did we go to one, then they split, and then we went to the other? I don't really remember that, but
I don't remember either.
I've do you know if I invited you to youth group?
I'm sure you did.
Because I'm fairly certain that you came to youth group before we were dating.
Which one?
The one where we painted the bricks.
I don't think so.
No? I have so many pictures of the two of us there together.
We were dating.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could be wrong on that, but then after we started dating, we kind of went to all of those things together. We went to youth group together, and we went to church together, and a lot of times it was just like me and you going to church.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't going with my family because my family was going to another church. I remember you parking at my house, and we would just walk down the street and go to church.
Yep.
Just me and you. Which
I do remember that.
Is I just feel like we were such little adults. Like these 16-year-old little adults making their own.
I do remember that.
Big kid decisions, because then I remember, we went to a different youth group together, and it was just a big priority for us. I think that was communicated pretty early on in our relationship, that like, hey,
I think it was talked about before.
It was really cool how, I mean, I don't need to go into the details, but how we both had to open up about some things that maybe were a little uncomfortable that we had maybe done with our pasts in other relationships, and or just with other people, friendships and whatever in general, the type of people that maybe we used to be, and we decided, this is who we want to be, and kind of deciding that together and forming our relationship
and
around
what
that.
Kind of couple we wanted to be.
Right. What kind of, like, no matter what people were saying about us at school, what people were calling us, the snide comments that people would give us on how we wanted to represent God in our relationship. And so that's kind of where our stories merge together a little bit. And then probably one of the other things that I did that was challenging, well, I shouldn't even say that was challenging for me, it was challenging for both of us for different reasons, but all growing up, I went to a Bible camp, and it was my dream ever since I was young that I was like, I'm going to work there someday. But when you work at this camp, it's all summer long, and it is up by Canada in the middle of nowhere. Like, and it's I don't want to say it's a primitive camp, because it's not really a primitive camp, but like, kids use outhouses. We bathe in the lake. We do not have our electronics on us,
or any service.
But like, even like, I don't know if I wasn't allowed or if I just didn't. I don't think I was allowed to even have my cell phone on me during the week when I had kids. So we would get kids on a lot of times Sunday afternoons, and then we'd run camps. However, the camps would like flow, and then the camps would all leave Friday afternoons. So we basically had Friday, a little bit Friday night. I think we were usually done by like 4 or 5 o'clock on Friday. We would have Saturday, and then the next day we'd have to be back in church service up there by like 9 a.m. So there wasn't a ton of time to like go and visit people. There wasn't time to go home
or talk to me.
There wasn't even like, I remember like Fridays or Saturdays, or like even if I had like an evening off or my break time, there was this one corner on the deck outside of like the counselor's lounge area that would get service, and I would have to sit there and call you because if I moved anywhere else,
Hmm.
I wouldn't get a call through. I think a couple times I drove to like Botno or somewhere else just to like make a phone call. And I
That
don't
was the
know.
worst summer ever.
We have very we have very different, and this would have been after our freshman year of college, which was also,
No.
yes, honey, you argue with me about this every
I
single
feel like that was
time.
the summer before college.
No. The summer before college, I was going to France and I was a lifeguard
Okay, fine.
because you had to be like an adult to be a counselor.
Okay.
And I I just remember like I knew it was going to be really hard and really challenging, but it was something that I was like, I know if I do not do this, I will regret it for the rest of my life. And it was challenging. I mean, it is challenging. Like you guys all know what camp counselor energy is, to have that and keep that up for days and days and days and days. And then like you don't even have time to crash because by the time you crash, you have to amp it back up again. And so like I just remember getting really close with a
Did you
couple
ever
of,
act like you were just all jolly and pimpy? Or were you jolly and
oh,
pimpy?
a lot of us.
Had
Yes.
to act it?
Yep. There
That's a
was
long summer of doing that.
yeah, there was a lot, like there was days where like you and I would be fighting because like our plans wouldn't mesh together. We didn't get to see each other. You know, in a relationship when you just don't get to see each other, you don't get
I
to
feel
connect.
like I was just very
People
upset
are
that whole summer.
You were very upset that whole summer. And so
Mhm.
like I had to like argue with you, then put my computer, we talked on Facebook Messenger a lot because that was a lot easier than phone calls. Um I like if I could go back and like read our paragraphs of probably arguments and whatever, and then I had to like jump out and be like, "Whoa, we're at camp!" Yeah, and then just like, and that whole summer was just so raw for me.
Do you remember MSN Messenger?
Oh yeah, this was past MSN
Yeah,
Messenger
this was
though.
after that.
We started dating on MSN Messenger. I okay, so growing up, I always thought that people that worked as camp counselors were just people like me, that people that were just like living life on Jesus from day one of their lives. And then after working at a camp, I realized a lot of times, and maybe it's just this particular camp, but I feel like it's probably the same everywhere. A lot of times, the people that get drawn in to work at a place like that are people that like need to be pulled out of the gutter for things. Like people that are dealing with things on the outside world, and it's easier to deal with here where you are at a place that's surrounded by other Christian people. You're away from distractions, you're away from all of those negative relationships, you're away from the negative influences,
Mm-hmm.
substances, whatever that you have around you. And
Yeah.
so, like, they're like, hey, you need a fresh start, work at camp this summer. And I just like I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. The amount of like transformation I saw in my other like coworkers and like seeing the stuff that they walked through. Like we were not only like helping all of those campers all summer long, but we were like literally helping each other like drag each other
Mm-hmm.
like there are several people that like were ready to like lose their lives. And that had bad family situations going on. I mean, like you name it, it was there. There was people that were struggling with different addictions, and like saying that's a little bit scary because like these are the type of people that were working with children on a on a day to day basis. But it was like just like giving yourself a purpose. Like I'll never forget my first night in a cabin with 13 9-year-old girls, right? Like you're out in the woods by yourself. There's a trough of running water. You don't have a bathroom. We don't use lights. We use lanterns. And like for somebody that hates being alone, like when you are there and you realize like
I'm surprised you could
I
do that.
you're yeah, me
Scared of the
too.
dark.
And scared of the dark, and you walk to your cabin in the dark and just the boys always had to take the ones that were really really far away.
I'm sure.
But like just to like be like, I am all these little girls have right now. Like
Yep.
these girls are homesick. They miss their parents. They miss their pets. They like some of them are so excited to be there. Some of them are terrified to be there. And just being like, you have to be that person for them. That's like, I'm taking care of you. Like I've got you. Like don't like. It just gives you like a different purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was very sorry that like got long talking about that, but I just feel like that was a very important part of my faith journey, and it was something that I had to do. A lot of times people do it more than once. I did it once because I knew that if I would do it again, Dalton and I would not be getting married.
Nope.
And yeah, it was good, and I'm super glad that I did it. And I even won the award for best counselor that summer.
I didn't know that.
I did.
Congratulations.
We got little yellow, like we always met around the yellow table. It's this giant yellow table, and the joke is it's the yellow table. And so we got yellow table awards, and everybody got a different kind of award, and I won the top counselor of the summer. So clearly I did a good job.
That's great.
I don't really know if there's anything else in college that really
TCX.
Oh my gosh, yes. Thank you for saying that, because that is a huge part of
That is a huge part.
That is a huge part. So did we go the first 3 years? Did we go
I
3
think
times?
so. 3 times. Yep.
Were we together?
The
The first year? The first year and the
No.
third year, I think we were not. The first year, freshman year of college.
I think it was just 1 year we were really struggling. Was it the third? It was one of them. I
Okay.
don't think there was more than 2 or more than 1.
So for those that are like, what are they talking about? TCX, they still have it. I think they just call it Winter Conference now.
Yeah, something like that.
So it's where like it was run through Crew, right?
Yep.
So like college ministry, right?
Twin Cities Experience.
Yeah,
TCX.
Twin Cities Experience. They send you to Minneapolis into a giant hotel, and they have like a 3-day conference.
And they dump thousands of college kids into it.
all
Thousands
in
and
one
thousands. The whole hotel is shut down just for this.
People from all over the state and other states.
Oh, from the country.
Well,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
I thought TCX was like our region.
Like Midwest?
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Like our region area. Like
Well, I know it was thousands of college kids, and they had to shut down the elevators. We had to use the stairs.
Yes. Lots of stairs. But anyway, yeah, it was like lots of like live worship, and it was always over New Year's. So we always had a giant New Year's party, and then there was always one night that was or one
Well, they kind of trained you the whole week for the night of outreach for that last night.
Yeah, so like you'd go to like little mini conferences, right? Like little breakout sessions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of them we were sessions about preparing number 1, how to share your testimony like we're doing right now, and number 2, how to reach people. So we would do it through
the word of God.
We would do it through like a food drive type of deal. So we'd go through these like I don't know, oh yeah, it was always through churches.
It was always through churches.
Like, and
every group met at a church.
Yeah, every group we like all broke up into like different buses or whatever, and we met at the church, and the church was like our hub communication. So at the church we would get our boxes of food, and we'd use the food, and then we'd travel around that little community.
They would send us to a certain part of the community to hand out, knock on doors of people's houses in Minneapolis in sketchy places. A lot of times,
like more.
Yep. And hand out, give them a food box, and if you get the opportunity, or the goal is to bring up Jesus, and if you have the opportunity to get invited in, you do it, and it's all just to spread the word of God.
Yeah. So like you'd start in like being like, and the whole goal was like to connect people back to that church that you were representing, right? Like to give them a connection, like, because they're not ever going to see us again. So it was going to be like, this food is from the church of whatever. We're here helping them out. Yes. And I remember.
I remember the little book they gave us for like steps to follow on how to talk about Jesus.
Yeah. And like some would be like, oh, thanks, food. Shut the door. Some people wouldn't answer the door. Some people, I remember a couple would invite us in.
Some would be like, oh my gosh, this is what I prayed for. Or, oh my gosh, I didn't know what I would eat next. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was really crazy. I remember going into a couple
I think each person got 5 boxes to give out.
Yeah. And I remember even a couple of the people that were giving the boxes, like you don't really know what it is when you first go there, right? So like if a bunch of your college friends are like, "Hey, we're all going to TCX. It's over winter break. It's going to be awesome." Like a bunch of people just tagged along, right? That didn't even have a relationship with Jesus. And so some of the people that were literally handing out the boxes actually were saved that day.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like because then
Yep.
afterwards we gathered all back up and we had that opportunity to like share like some of the crazy stories that had happened those last couple hours. And yeah, it was just like incredible to see how God can move in such a short amount of time.
Yep.
But interestingly, our freshman year had to have been, we went there between two breakups. Dahl and I broke up twice our freshman year of college. We broke up
Well, that
once.
must have been the time when you broke up with me.
I don't. Maybe they were both after that. Maybe we didn't break up in the fall like I think we did. I don't know. But anyway, so that's what. Yeah, and then approaching.
But didn't we get back together there?
Not that time.
Well, one of the times we did.
I thought that was junior year. Like that was like I feel like that time was like before we got engaged. Like this was like the last.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like so we went freshman year, sophomore year, and junior year. I don't think you were gonna go. Like because we were. I don't.
I think I
don't.
decided last minute to
I
go.
don't want to say that we weren't together because we were together.
We weren't doing good.
But it was like we might not
make it.
We might be officially ending our relationship.
Yeah.
But we're not quite sure. And I don't know. I don't know if like I asked you to still come or if you just wanted to still come because you liked it or you were like had already signed up or I don't know what the reasoning is that you still came. And I couldn't even tell you really what the big deal was. I couldn't tell you what the big deal was, but I remember we were like we were like, okay, we're both going, and our commitment was we will find a time on this trip to get away from everybody else
and talk it out,
and just to go and talk, the two of us. We're like, we'll have like clear minds. We'll be in a different place. We'll be, wherever. And we ended up so like, what are they called? The skywalks.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have all the skywalks that are connecting to all the buildings. So we just started walking. We were like, hey, I don't know what everybody else was doing, but we just left.
It was at night. I don't think anything important was going on.
Whatever. So nobody, I don't know if anybody else even really knew where we were. And we ended up walking and we ended up in this like, I can picture sitting there. It was like a very wide, it almost reminded me of being in like a subway station, but we weren't in a subway station. But it was like a
big room.
Almost like a food court type of deal, but there wasn't hustle bustle. It was like nobody was there. It was like it was like a walkway between buildings, but it was like indoors and there was like just like benches.
Yeah.
And like some indoor plants or something. It was this big room.
Mm-hmm.
And we sat down on a bench and I remember just laying out all the cards on the table. Like just here's what we're talking about. Here's our options. Here's what it's going to look like if we stay together. Here's what it's going to look like if we're not staying together. I remember crying profusely.
Yep.
I remember ending it with some fabulous prayer.
Yeah, I remember that too.
And whatever it was, we figured it out and we went back knowing like we're getting married.
Pretty much.
That was our decision of like we are officially getting married. Like,
well, I didn't ask her.
No, we weren't engaged, but that I feel like that solidified this decision.
Yeah,
we're in it for the long haul now.
After that, we never really had any problems again.
I
mean, we've had problems, but nothing that we're like, I'm breaking up with you problems.
No. Because I feel like it would have been that next summer we were engaged. So
probably, yeah.
It was like shortly after that. And then while being engaged, we talked about this a little bit of finding our own church groove, talking about being a part of the church that we are and making like that a priority. And just, it's fun that a lot of our faith journey and / testimony is you and I being together and
Mhm.
like growing together and changing together. Like we always make the joke when we were by no means at that point in good mature
Where?
because
At what point?
like being married and finally choosing a church.
Oh
Like
gosh, no.
I feel like you especially.
No.
Sorry, I'm not throwing you under the
No,
bus.
you are correct. You're not throwing me under the bus. You are absolutely
Like
correct.
we didn't.
Yeah, no.
The most of our maturing faithfully and spiritually came like when we were like approaching 30, mid
Mid
20s.
20s. Mm-hmm.
Like after we had found our church groove and church people, like
Oh,
we
yeah.
weren't even fully. I shouldn't say we're even fully mature now, but like you experienced a lot of growth.
In the last 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of what does that mean to like what does it actually mean to be a Christian and how do I fully like flesh that out in my daily life? Like
Yeah.
I think before you were like, yes, like you were saved before, but not really fully embracing what kind of responsibility that is to the rest
Mhm.
of society. And then I don't know when it was. I don't know when we started feeling the pull that we should be baptized. We were both well, I shouldn't even say that. I was baptized as an infant. Were you?
Yes, I was.
So how come random question for you. A lot of your siblings had gotten baptized later as older individuals. How come you never did that?
I don't know. Never really felt called to do it
I was
until
thinking about that the other day as I was, or
that I
when I
did.
was thinking about this, I was just like, because yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Like a lot of your family had already been, and the whole thing about baptism, we just believe that it needs to become after salvation, not before. So being baptized as an infant, and I'm not blaming anybody for that because when you grow up in a certain church denomination, you just do it because that's how they do it. You don't, I mean, people don't know what they don't know. And I just felt the importance of like, I need to do something publicly. That's my
Mm-hmm.
own decision. And I remember going into a meeting with our pastor about this, and all I did was cry because I knew that I wanted to do this and I knew that it needed to do this, but I felt so bad on how, again, disappointing people. I didn't want my family to think that what they did for me was invalid.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't want it to look like, oh, I was baptized in infinite, but it didn't count or it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like that's not what I wanted. It had nothing to do with them.
Yep.
It had 100% just to do with me and the way that I was feeling, that I felt like I never got the opportunity, me as a person, especially since going back to the beginning where I said, like, I never had a big moment of like breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I never had a coming out of the gutter moment. I never had that. I had always been a slow and steady person. And I just wanted a moment that was just like me proclaiming to the world where I stand on these issues and in these things. Had nothing to do with what happened when I was an infant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that was the biggest struggle for me is I didn't want people to look at it and be like, oh, she feels like she needs to do that again. Like, no, like I just, and it shouldn't matter what other people think because it has nothing to do with them. But, and then we decided to get baptized together, which I thought was really special just because a lot of our faith, spiritual stuff had happened together. And so the fact that I don't even know who baptized you.
Pastor Jeff did. No,
Okay.
Eric did.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
And then you baptized me.
Yep.
Which was just it was what we needed. It was what our family needed just because I think because of my personality and because of my background, I think a lot of times I overpower and I over control Oh, sorry. I'm on it again. Again. See, I'm doing stuff.
Leaning on the phone again.
Um,
Sorry.
I'm a very overbearing person, and so a lot of the times, like especially in those first early years of marriage, I feel like I was leading our family.
I still
I
think you do in a lot of ways, but yes.
I think you do it better than
Explain. Then you or
like
then I
I think
think.
that there was a point. This is just gonna sound bad.
I'm prepared.
No,
I won't take
I
this
think that
wrong.
there was a point in our marriage, in our early family life, where you weren't leading at all.
Yeah.
Like had nothing to do with it, and like didn't want
Right.
anything to do with it. Had a
I'm
sour
not
attitude
I'm
about
not
all of it.
disagreeing.
Okay, so I think that like you stepping up and baptizing me was like you taking control
You're right.
over not taking control over my salvation. I don't want that doesn't
No,
that's not
but
right. But you taking like responsibility for me as a person of your household to be like I am also supposed to take care of you
yes.
and your spiritual well-being.
I'm
Like
supposed to be the
that's my
spiritual
job.
leader of this house.
Right.
Yes.
Like and I feel like that moment was a moment that you and I really needed of like a transfer of power, almost like like I don't know how else to describe it. Like that's what it was. It was like me allowing you to be like, yes, I am allowing you to be in charge, to be responsible
Yeah.
for me and for our kids. Not that like I
And
didn't.
I've baptized both of our older kids since then.
Mhm.
Yep. And
And
I've
have done just a lot more of just like
and I've
stepping
become
up.
a lot of well, I'm a deacon in the church. I'm a worship leader now. Never saw that coming. Like 5 years ago, if you would have told me that, I'd have thought you were nuts. Or maybe that was 6 years. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
was gonna
How
say
long have I been doing that now?
you've almost been a worship leader now for 5 years.
But it's like 7 years ago, I would have never saw myself in any. Oh, be quiet.
6, 7.
I would have never saw myself in any type of. If you would have told me I was going to be in this position where I'm at today, I would have thought you were nuts 8 years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm not saying I regret it. I'm happy, very happy. Just saying
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy.
It's just fun to watch.
Like
The
you used to
growth
go
that's
into
happened.
worship practice and play piano, and I used to sleep in the car
Yeah.
and
That's terrible.
think I want nothing to do with that.
You always had this like chip on your shoulder of like I have more important things to do.
I think it's because I was scared because I knew that I wanted to be involved, but I was scared to be involved. And I knew that I should be involved, but I didn't want to be involved. And I was also scared to be involved.
Yeah.
And I knew that I was going to get roped into something.
Yeah. So you
Which I did as soon as I came in for practice to start sitting there. I got roped into playing drums, which I don't do. I played trumpet in high school, but I did it. And then in that process, I was probably already starting to teach myself how to play guitar at home.
Mm-hmm.
So that led to the next thing, which led to the next thing. And now here I am.
And we're not done.
We are not done.
We're still growing, changing, moving. I think that's the whole point of this.
Moving? I'm kidding.
Well,
I know what you meant.
Metaphorically. That's the whole point of this is like learning to tell your story, and like whatever part of your story you're on right now is okay. Like all we're looking for is forward motion, right? Like if we would have
Yes.
given our testimony at age 16 and then age 20 and then age 25 and now at age 32, like
Don't make me older than I am.
I'm 32. But yeah, like just it can be ever changing, and someone just asked to find out a little bit more about us individually, and then how it kind of just all meshed together into a story. And I'm sure 5 years from now, when we come back to sit down and tell about our testimony, it'll probably not even be close to the same thing that we're talking about today. And
Well, the past will be.
well, yeah, but that's the whole point. If you're not growing and changing, I don't think you're doing it right.
That's right.
So yeah, I think that's a good place to wrap her up.
Okay. You're the boss.
I am. And for this, I am.
I'm aware.
So if you have any other questions, thank you to the person that threw out this topic. I don't know if I ever would have thought to talk about that. So if
Was
you
it
have,
Trayton on the
it
last
was the
live?
one metal.
Yeah, Trayton.
Okay, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
He started listening to our podcast.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, share it with people. We like new friends. But if there are other topics that you want us to talk about or something you want us to hash out more because we didn't discuss it enough or something like that, yeah, reach out because I have a list in my phone and I would love to keep adding to it for podcast topics. So
Seems like this time of the week comes real quick.
yeah. Yeah, it does. So, okay. Everybody have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.